Where there is no law, there is no freedom. The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. All mankind being equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. Every man has a property in his own person. Government has no other end but the preservation of property. Whenever the legislators endeavor to take away and destroy the property of the people, they put themselves into a state of war with the people. The reason why men enter into society is the preservation of their property. No man in civil society can be exempted from the laws of it. Freedom of men under government is to have a standing rule to live by. New opinions are always suspected, and usually opposed, without any other reason but because they are not already common. Reading furnishes the mind only with materials of knowledge. It is thinking that makes what we read ours. Education begins the gentleman, but reading, good company, and reflection must finish him. I have always thought the actions of men the best interpreters of their thoughts. Parents wonder why the streams are bitter, when they themselves have poisoned the fountain. The only fence against the world is a thorough knowledge of it. Our incomes are like our shoes. If too small, they gall and pinch us. To love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection. Error is not a fault of our nature, but a fault of our judgment. Faith is nothing but a firm assent of the mind. Reason must be our last judge and guide in everything. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. The understanding, like the eye, whilst it makes us see and perceive all other things, takes no notice of itself. Truth certainly would do well enough if she were once left to shift for herself. Liberty is not a freedom for every man to do what he lists. Political power is a right of making laws for regulating and preserving property. The great question which in all ages has disturbed mankind is not whether there be power in the world, but whence it comes. No man can be forced to be rich or healthy whether he will or no. The care of souls cannot belong to the civil magistrate. Absolute arbitrary power is inconsistent with civil society. He that judges without informing himself to the utmost is not fit to judge. The business of laws is not to provide for the truth of opinions, but for the safety and security of the commonwealth. Slavery is so vile and miserable an estate of man that it is hardly to be conceived. Men being, as has been said, by nature all free, equal, and independent. The obligation of promises is grounded in the law of nature. Knowledge begins in experience. He that will not give just occasion to offend cannot expect to live unoffended. It is one thing to show a man that he is in an error, and another to put him in possession of truth. The legislative cannot transfer the power of making laws to any other hands. Children are not born in this full state of equality, though they are born to it. Thus, in the beginning, all the world was America.